Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Build Your Online Business Morning Show. Boy, we got the new crew in the house today. They got on their Sunday go to meeting finest. Boy, I'm not playing with these women this morning. So, guys, today we're going to be talking about why startup capital is so necessary to remain competitive. And not just to remain competitive, but to even start your business. If you want to start your business the right way, startup capital really is the way to go. And I think we missed that mark. I know I missed that mark because nobody was around to teach me about startup capital. I didn't even know it was a thing until after I was already launching my business. So for those of you who already have businesses, you need to take a moment and step back and go get that opportunity. But with that being said, if you haven't started your business yet, even if you don't know what to do, don't wait until you figure out what to do to then go get prepared with startup capital. Start now because some of the ideas that come across with startup capital may be something you want to do. So now you're getting your capital together while at the same time you're launching. A lady yesterday, when I asked her, well, what do you want to do? She said, well, I'm thinking about taking a class on different government contracts you can get. I said, well, you do know, even if you're awarded the contract,
Mhm.
they might give you $250,000 to mop 10 floors. Where are you going to get the brooms and the mops and the fabuloso?
Mhm.
Where are you going to get the people to mop the floors? Because people do be want to pay it in advance.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to award you the contract, but they may not pay you for 30, 60, 90 days after the job is complete. They the government, they got the ultimate best credit.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
They will pay you and don't do it right after they just wrote checks. You might have to wait 90 days, a whole nother quarter to get your money. But where are you going to get the money you need to complete the job? And so we're so busy sometimes trying to just muscle through a solution without help that we come up with decent answers, but it's not the best answer. So we really want to be competitive and we really want to move to the next level. We've got to start learning the language of money. We got to go to money school. So if you haven't already scheduled your call to talk about startup capital, go to bit.ly/7 figure startup and stop getting left behind as it relates to the conversation of money. Millions of dollars in grant money, millions of dollars in scholarship money, startup incubator programs, lines of credit, personal credit being left on the table because of the way we manage our paperwork. And a lot of this is just a paperwork thing, y'all. It really just is. So make sure you get your call scheduled. But I'm going to hand it over to these amazing ladies, Heather Witherspoon, Bertha Germany, Doctor. You make sure you DR period. And make sure you say Cynthia Ara Armstead, because there is a Cynthia A. And of course, one of my favorites, Rose Fauntleroy. And so I'm going to hand it over to these ladies this morning, guys, so I can get ready for a training. But you're going to be blessed by the conversation. And we appreciate you tuning in. Y'all go ahead.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Monday. Now y'all got to go to work on Monday, but we're going to help y'all move away from
Okay?
that. What?
Please help the people.
Walk
What?
all the way away.
All the way away.
All the way.
So that Sunday can now become not just your church day, but your favorite day. Why?
Yes.
Because when Monday rolls around, you don't have to go anywhere but down. You can keep on your pajamas.
Yeah.
Go downstairs if you want to sit at the table in your office, sit at the desk, because what better commute is there than the 10-step commute?
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
So
I'm taking
in
that
order,
commute tomorrow.
that's right. In order to do the 10-step commute, you have to have some startup capital.
Yes.
Yes.
Some startup capital. Now, what about you ladies? My startup capital was when I was working that job. I had to eke out, you heard me say eke, had to eke out some money from the paycheck
Mm-hmm.
to run the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Didn't know, well, I'm not going to say I didn't know, but didn't think I could qualify for the startup loan,
Yeah.
or the reaching out to a venture capitalist, or someone to help to fund my business,
An
or
angel investor.
an angel investor. Exactly.
Yes.
Didn't
Yes.
even know about that. So I had to continue to eke out from Peter over here to Rose.
Hmm.
What did y'all ladies do?
Rose, mine was pretty much the same way. I worked and worked and worked, and I would take a little bit from my paycheck, pay the bills first, and whatever was left over, I would divide it amongst two, myself, and then what I wanted to do, the business. And that's pretty much, how I raised money for myself. I couldn't go ask mom; she didn't have it. Couldn't ask dad; he didn't have it. So I had to get it the way that I knew how, and that was pretty much saving and sacrificing everything that I had, which was really, really hard and caused me a couple of headaches. But hey, I did it.
But you made it
Did
through.
it.
Hmm.
That's right.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah,
mom
I
and dad
agree.
and family can be an angel investor
Hmm.
Yeah.
if they have it.
If they have
Right.
Yeah,
If
I agree.
if
I think most of
Yeah.
us start out that way. We think that we have to take the money from the paycheck to try to, scurry around and utilize whatever we have. And it's not until you get yourself involved in the community and get yourself educated enough to know that there are other sources out there and there are things that we can qualify for, but we just have to know that it's available. And
Mhm.
so you have to get that education, I guess. Like I said a few minutes ago, you have to get yourself more educated about it. That's a great start. And obviously, most of us start there, and we're not knocking that at all, And then also, there are the little side hustle things that you do to make that extra money, to invest the side hustle money into your business, your goals, and your dreams. But there's so many opportunities out there to get that startup capital. Coach has told us many times over, it is using, other people's money, honestly, to get there. And so many people do it on various different levels, but we just have to know the resources, where to get it from, and how to do it.
Exactly. Coach made a good point when she was on here earlier. We need to go to money school,
Yeah.
because we know how to use money. We know how to use money, but do we know how to properly use it for our businesses?
right.
So that was an excellent point. Bertha, you've been in business for a long, long time. How
Yeah.
did you start?
Well, hey, one of the things too is a mindset thing. A lot of people, they don't go because it might be something wrong. They think it's wrong with their credit, or something is going on with them. But you gotta believe. Y'all know I'm the believe factor.
Hmm.
And so you gotta believe and just go and just trust that, I'm going to do this no matter what it looks like, no matter what my situation looks like. I'm gonna go and check it out. I'm gonna try this. It doesn't hurt to just try it. Just go and see what the results will be, because you might be surprised. And then if you have a place to go, which is with us, of course,
Of
you have a
course.
place to go, then come on with us, because if the money is already there, coach is providing us a way. Hey, I'm trying to go where I can see how to start this business. I need these funds. I'm going over there. So y'all need to come on.
On in the room.
Okay,
Come
that's
on in the room.
that's right. And go where the money is. So, that's what I believe. But I
Money, the
did.
education, the camaraderie, the community. It's a win-win all the way around. So
Okay.
if you all want a win-win situation, you know what you have to do. bit.ly/7. Oh, there she goes. /7 figure, the number 7 figure startup. Get on the call, get you some information, find out what you need to do and how to do it. And don't forget, if you all haven't shared the video, sharing is caring. Share the video. It's
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
And knowledge
Share
is
the love.
power. Knowledge is
Yes.
power, and we just you need to go where the knowledge is, and get more educated about the credit, and bad credit, uh
How to improve your credit.
Right.
improve your credit, all of
Startup
it,
capital.
And
yeah.
you know what? And you know what, Bertha, to piggyback off of that, a lot, that's the problem. People are scared.
Mm-hmm.
They are scared of the unknown. They're
Yes.
scared of the, well, what if, you know? So like you said, but you have to believe. And like
Mm-hmm.
we talked about yesterday, it's not the dollar, it's the mindset.
It's the
It's
mindset.
the mindset.
Yeah.
And because you have been taught or trained a certain way, things about money, when we tell you, hey, you know, we know how you can do it and do it the right way and effective and, you know, make profits and all of that good stuff. Well, are you sure? Well, I don't know. But that's the thing. You're scared. Stop being scared.
Right.
You know,
Well,
I mean, it's okay to be scared,
it is
but
okay.
as long as you're scared, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to move forward.
You're not
So
gonna
you
move
have to
forward.
step out of that. You have to change your mindset. You have to believe that you can do it.
And
My
also,
motto is do it scared. Do
right,
it. Just
right.
do it.
Build the plane as it flies. But
Yes.
also too, to be really realistic, how many of us like to be told no?
Okay.
No.
Nobody likes to be
No.
told no. And sometimes we don't check our credit or we don't look at things because we don't want to see the what they call the bad part. And we don't
Mhm.
want to apply because we don't want to be told no. You know, you put all of your personal information out there, giving them because they want to know all your stuff plus the size of your shoe and
Yeah.
how tall is your child. And then
Mhm.
you give them that and they tell you no.
Right.
You know, and now you have all my stuff and you're telling me no and not giving me anything in return. That can be a hurting feeling. But
Yeah.
as Bertha said, it's a mindset. And I think we need to stop looking at it as if you're below a certain number on your credit that you have bad credit. No, it's not necessarily that you have bad credit. You just may have had some situations in life
Mhm.
that have caused things to not be as high as something else.
I like
So
that
stop,
verbiage. I like that a whole lot better.
yeah, stop putting that bad on everything. Yeah, it may not be the best,
I agree. I agree.
you know, because that's a mindset thing too.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's like a no, it's a rejection, you're bad, you know, you're not living up to expectations. Well, hell,
Yeah.
who sets the expectations for you in your life? You've had
And
things go on. And if you know the right place to go and the right people to see, even those circumstances and situations in life won't hold you back.
Mhm.
that's right.
You know,
Absolutely.
and as
In our
being
community,
Go ahead, Dr. Cynthia.
I was saying in our community over here, there's just absolutely one mindset. If you don't like those traditional ideas of you've got to have a particular score, or let's talk about the fact that in some traditional ways of attaining startup capital, you have to already have so much uh, money in the bank or
Mhm.
so many years of successful business experience before you can get that yes. So over here in this community and through Coach Danielle Winningham, there's so many resources and so many opportunities. And the mindset over here is we should not like the fact that those other things have been set in place as the standard. And we should absolutely be mad about the fact that it feels like they won't let us in, especially as women, to even the playing field in business. So mindset over here is we don't mind if you get mad, because in the community over here with Coach Danielle Winningham, getting mad only means one thing. It means make a decision.
Make a
Make
decision,
a
make a
decision.
change.
Make a change, make a decision. As Bertha says, have that belief factor over here that there are other resources and there are other options that you have as opposed to just what we know to be the traditional way of getting that startup capital. So I would encourage everyone under the sound of our voices here as weekend warriors to go out to bit.ly/seven figure, oh shoot,
Seven,
seven figure
you got
startup.
it? Never think you start up because each
Then
new
get that
day,
call going.
yeah, each new day is a new start.
Mhm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So why not today set your startup call so that on Monday, when you roll out that bed and can't take the 10-step walk, you got to walk a little further to the office. get you some information, get on the call so that you can start making your plans to
Mhm.
move to what you want. Because it's not what everyone else sets the standards for you, it's what you set the standard for what you want. So get your 7-figure startup call and share out this broadcast and stay with us so that we can guide you along the way.
And Rose, I got something better to top that. Today is daylight savings times, right? It's spring forward.
No wonder I was so sleepy when I woke.
Right.
That's right, the time did change.
Today it's Sunday. It's Sunday. We got daylight savings time, spring forward. So now you are going to be running, trying to figure out what can I do? What can I do? Make a call, start up, ask questions. This is your time.
Yeah.
This is your time.
2020.
Because first you cleaned out your closet, you got rid of all your old stuff. It's spring cleaning. So now you have to replace that space with something new. Spring forward, make a call.
Instead of it replacing that space with the same old thing. Because if you get rid of one thing, you can bring another one in.
Yes.
But leave that space open for your business. Leave that space open for your idea. Leave that space open that this will be the year that you get your paperwork. Because as Coach said earlier, a lot of this is paperwork. Get your taxes straight, get your credit straight. Join us at bit.ly/7-figure startup. Oh, there it is. 7-figure startup, so that you can start to get these things in order. Because I can tell you, it can be a big weight on your shoulders, not knowing. Yeah, we don't look because we're afraid of what we see, but the not knowing sometimes weighs heavier than going to find out. So go to find out and then start to remove some of that weight from your shoulders.
First, let's start off with getting our businesses registered with your state. How about that?
Getting the paperwork.
How about that?
Paperwork. Get the right entity set up for what you want to do. Paperwork. Like Coach said, get your paperwork in order. Well, some folks don't even know where to start.
Right.
They have an idea, and a lot of people are running businesses, robbing Peter to pay Paul or whatever, but they're not in order.
Right.
Right. And this year to get things in order.
And too, and because we are women, a lot of us women, like you said, we don't know. We just know to take a little bit here and then, but make sure that we give it to everybody else, because that's how we were trained. That's how we were taught. So this is women empowerment. This is what National Women's Month. It's March.
That's right.
Get it in order.
Now's the time to start.
Yeah, and most of you women, you have helped your husband, you raised your family, you built your business, you build in the community, but now it's time for yourself. You build everybody else.
Preach, Bertha.
Okay, now it's time for yourself, and so we want to help you do that. And so it's time for you to build your abundance. It's time for you to have your happiness and build your happiness. And the only way you can build that is you might need some startup capital to do that. So, hey, it's time, y'all. It's time. It's 2020. It's spring forward, as Heather said.
Yes.
So spring on into it,
Because I showed this spring forward on my expansion. Yes, I did.
That's right.
Yes, I did.
It's time to do it.
That's right. It's time to take your 2020 vision and put that thing on steroids.
Yes.
Startup capital.
Yes.
At a time like the present.
That's right. Dr. Cynthia, they need to inject that startup with some insulin, because we know that insulin makes you what? Fat. And you want your business to be what? Fat with dollars.
Yes.
And the more that you invest in yourself and invest in your business by learning the different avenues of startup capital and getting a 7-figure startup call, the more then you can start pouring from a full cup. It allows you to be able to expand your business, but at the same time, you can help others. You can bring on other employees. You can help your community. You can donate to organizations. And it gives you more, and it relieves the pressure and the stress.
You can sponsor events.
Exactly. It allows you to be able to do so much more
Yes.
for others when you're building inside your business for yourself. It's not just about self, it's about others. But you
Oh, and Rose, since it's
Mhm.
tax season, it's all a big tax write-off too.
That's right. Your education,
Yes.
your classes, learning these things, running a business. Exactly. And that's a big thing, is that you have the right entity set up so you can take advantage of the tax advantages that are out there for you. You are exactly right.
Yes. I love doing that.
I know you do.
Love doing that.
I do. Yes. And Bertha, you've been in business a long time. So I know you know all about that.
Oh, yes. I love doing that.
As they say, the tax man cometh, but the woman tax goeth.
Yes.
You goeth forth and prosper. What that head, girl.
Yes,
We go
baby.
forth
Yes.
and
Yes.
prosper.
I swear.
Because trust me, your president has laid down the rules for the woman to go forth and prosper.
Okay.
You may not agree with everything that you all's president has put in place, but there are some good things in the midst if you take the time to know the rules.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a lot to do with the rules, as Coach said earlier, is paperwork.
Yeah.
Paperwork.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
Get your paperwork in order.
Yes.
Right. And if you don't know the rules, then you surround yourself by those that do.
Yes.
So
See,
again, just
Dr.
your
Cynthia,
own
you hit
way.
it. You said it. You
Yes, you
said
got
it.
That's
You
right.
said it. Surround yourself with like-minded people. There was a DJ here in Louisville a couple of years ago. He would always say, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.
Yep.
And for the longest, I didn't understand what that meant. But now, I'm in a business and I'm working it and I get it. I surround myself with like-minded business people, whether they're in my age group or not, because we can have a conversation about business. They can look at me and listen and not call me crazy because they understand what I'm talking about, because we're talking about the same thing. And then I have my other group of acquaintances who don't quite understand my business lingo. So I don't talk business lingo. So you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. So yes.
You do.
You are
Absolutely.
absolutely right.
Yeah. That's good, Heather. That's good. And know which group you're among. You didn't say that you disconnected from that group that can't speak that lingo. You just know which language to talk when you're in a particular group. And if you're anything like me, you just find yourself gravitating though
Mm-hmm.
to that group that likes to have that conversation about entrepreneurship and women, especially like-minded women, because we all have so many gifts and talents and strengths, and sometimes things need to be molded. And so when you get together with the right community of women and the right conversations, and you mold that thing, it just turns into a beautiful work of art, and that's your happy place.
That's right. That's right, doctor. I agree with that. Because iron sharpens iron,
That's
and this
right.
is where we come to get sharpened, and in this community. And so talking to Heather, and talking to you, talking to Rose, we grow. Feeding off of each other. So it's always great to be in a community where you can be
Mm-hmm.
sharpened.
And as Coach says, there's always somebody out there that wants your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want what it is that I have or that I'm offering as a woman in business, you may want something that one of my business sisters has in her hand to offer to you. So there's just so much, there's a plethora of information out there and a plethora of opportunities, but you might not know about it if you don't schedule that call at bit.ly/7-figure startup, because you got to start. That's all we ask, is that you make a decision, get mad, make that decision to get started.
Right.
And you made a good point about iron sharpening iron
Mhm.
and being in the right community, like our community.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have an abundance of folks in a community who are loving on each other, who are sharpening each other, who are teaching each other, each person has different skills and talents, like you said. And what you do is you create your own economy, because you don't have to necessarily always go outside the community to get the resources or the knowledge that you need. You buy and trade from each other, thereby creating our own economy, which
Mhm.
is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
I'm over here
Yeah.
saying hello, good morning to them Periscope folks. I didn't want to leave out the Periscope people this morning. How y'all doing? I
Come
see
on in the
y'all.
room,
I
Periscope.
see them. Huh?
Come on in the room, Periscope. Come on,
Yep.
there's
Come
room
on in
for
the
you.
room. They in the room. They in the room.
All right.
There's a seat for you at our table. We always leave the light on.
Yes, we do. And we not the Motel 8 or 6,
Mm-mm.
whatever it is.
Mm-mm.
What? But we leaves the lights on so that you can always find your way.
Always. Always find your way and always ask questions. You know, Rose, I always tell people who I talk to, when you're hungry, you'll find something to cook and eat.
Mm.
And, you know, people that look at me and they go, what? And I go, well, I just heard you talk about how you don't have any money for your business and you don't know how to make, you know, at least $3,000, or you don't know how to do this. I said, are you hungry? Yeah, I just ate. I said, no. No, I said, you're not hungry. Because if you were, you would sit down and you would find something to make so you can eat. I said, when you want to see your business blossom and thrive, you find something to cook so you can eat. I said, everything around you, anything that you touch, you can turn it into something to make money. I said, but you don't know that because you're not hungry.
Mhm.
And they kind of looked at me. I said, see? I said, every day I'm hungry. I eat every day, literally every day, because I find stuff to cook every day.
That's
And if
right.
you don't know what to cook, you need to make your call.
What's that? Oh, make that call.
Make your call.
That
BITLY
bit.ly/.
the number 7-figure startup.
That's right.
That's right.
And I can also attest to that hungry part, because
Mhm.
sometimes when you get to a certain place in your life, you get comfortable. And
Yeah.
Coach used to say to me all the time, Rose, you just comfortable. You
Mhm.
comfortable. And I used to look at it like it was a good word, but really it was a dirty word, because when you get comfortable, you're not hungry. And you do things haphazardly. You may sign up for a class,
Mhm.
but you don't always come to your class.
Mhm.
You don't come
You're
to
getting in
school.
my video. Can you please move over? I'm on the video. Come on, put me on mute, somebody.
Gotcha. Yeah, you don't come, you haphazardly come to class. You may pay for things, but you may not follow through. So you have to get to that point where you're hungry. But when it gets to a point where
They're hungry.
you're
They're
hungry
thirsty.
enough,
I'm
then
thirsty.
you're
She's
thirsty, you're hungry,
thirsty.
your stomach growling, your
Hungry.
feet hurt, your back hurt. You don't want to roll out the bed come Monday morning. That's when you start sitting up and paying attention.
Mhm.
And how you do that is you startup. That's what we're talking about today. Startup capital, how to finance your business without it being such a pressure on your back, on your shoulders, on your family, on the bills that you already have. And it allows you, once you start, once you get your call, once you make your call, once you put your ideas in place, because we want to have the same level playing field as everyone else.
As everybody else.
Now, for men, it may be a little different. And y'all know I'm not bashing the men because I love my men's folk. I love my men's folk. But sometimes for them, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
You know, because their friends or whatever would jump in with them. Short will jump in with them and you know, oh, buddy, you starting this, here's $500. Here's this, here's that. Or they can either go a traditional route because they may have the paperwork in order, but they may not, but they know how to tap the resources. And those are the things that we need to do and we need to learn how to do.
Yeah.
So
see, we already have a strike against us because we're female.
well, we
have to work a little bit harder to get to that same platform as men. Now, granted, you know, we get there eventually, but it's the fact it's still a little bit harder for us. So like Bertha always says, you gotta, if you don't believe that you can get to that same platform as Jimmy John, then you're not going to get there.
That is true. That is true. You know, and companies will extend payment terms, things like that. All of that is involved in your startup. You know, when you may be of, you know, you may not be a woman, put it that way, or with a startup. And I think Dr. Cynthia, I think it was you, it was either you or Heather had said earlier about when you start up your business, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and how to not do that. It takes the stress off of the family. It takes the stress off of your wallet. That's not
I mentioned traditional. Yeah, I'd mentioned traditional startup capital because so many times when people go to get that startup capital, you know, they get the questions like, well, how long have you been in business? And, you know, your books, are you successful? And, you know, how much money do you already have, you know, in the bank, and how much business credit do you already have?
Right. And that's where I was going. That's where I was going. It's like a circle. Right. Because if you don't have a certain amount of funds in the bank from your business, they're not willing to maybe lend to you until you do, where you can't get a certain amount of funds because usually that's not $5 or $10 in the bank because you don't have the capital to do it. So it's kind of like a catch-22, like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Right. And you know, Rose, I just bought a car a couple of days ago, and I tried to put the car in my business name. And like Dr. Cynthia said, they wanted to see my whole entire history. Well, where's the last two of your tax return? Well, let me see your bank statements now. Well, I was like, wait a minute, what? I am who I say I am. Well, if you're gonna put in the business name, do this and do this. And I was like, oh God, just put it in my name.
Right.
Just put it in my name.
Right.
That's
that catch-22 thing again, because you got to have all of this extra documentation, all of this money, all of that. But now personally, you don't really have to have anything but a decent credit score, and they'll give you a car and let you drive them. You know, that seems to be so backwards to me.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with young people, because young people, they don't have any credit at all, and they'll sometimes they turn you back because you don't have any credit at all. So you gotta go buy something to build your credit, you know. So it's
the system is the system does seem to be a little backwards, because if you don't have any credit at all, I know you may be a risk because you haven't, but have you been smart enough to take care of your life to the point where you didn't need to do that? So who really is a better credit risk than someone who doesn't have any credit?
Right.
But you haven't had a chance to mess it up yet.
That's right.
And Bertha mentioned, you know, starting out young, but I must give so much credit in 2020 to the younger generations. If I just take a second to think about millennials and their mindset. They
Oh,
are amazing and what they come up with nowadays and what they can do in regards to businesses, the businesses that they start, the ideas that they have about businesses, absolutely amazing, mind blowing. They're light years ahead of so many others in a different kind of way from those of us that just know more traditional kind of understandings and standards of business and the way we understood business from the past and how business has evolved and how it has changed and the age in which you can be in business. I mean, we already have some younger, even younger than millennials that are already in businesses, you know, that are minors and things of that nature that are in business that are blowing
and making millions.
Making
Mhm.
millions.
and making millions. So again, I keep going back to the traditional way of doing things that has changed.
Yeah.
That has come and gone. And
agree.
so you gotta stay light years ahead in your mindset and in your thoughts. And you have to already be prepared to answer those tough questions sometimes when they come at you in regards to that traditional mindset. You know, how do we combat that? How do we move past that? And one of the ways to do that is get yourself on the phone with Wise Counsel, schedule a call at bit.ly/7, the number 7 figure startup, so that you can connect with someone who has answers to things that maybe you haven't even thought about, or the answers to remove the barriers for which
Mhm.
you may have come up
Right.
against, you know, in the past, because there seems to be so many, but there are so many ways around it, you know, to get to where you're going. You're just trying to get to the bank. Now, nobody said you could go over the bridge, under the bridge, around the bridge, but as long as you get to the bank.
As long as you take in the bags to the bank.
That's right.
That's all that's the key. And I agree with you, Dr. Cynthia. The millennials, they are so creative. And the thing with them is they don't have that fear built into it.
Mm-mm.
Because see, they are millennials, they haven't become jaded yet, haven't been, through what we've been through in life. So they don't have that fear around creating and starting out on their idea. And like you said, and not only do they have a creative way of getting their idea out, they have creative ways of making it work.
Right.
And we can take a lesson from that.
Yeah,
And
they
you
have
know,
no fear. That's what I noticed about the generation, like the fear. It's like, what fear? We're relentless.
Exactly. By any means necessary. And
mhm.
we could take a page from that book.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
And you know,
Well,
a lot of people, Dr. Cynthia, they look at the millennials and they go, "Oh my God, they're doing so much. I can't compete with that." But here's the thing: it's not about competition,
right.
because there's so much for everybody. And like Rose said, there's always somebody you may know or may not know that needs your service, needs your product. And even though that you are offering something that a millennial is offering, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go to that person. They may not like the way they dress, they look, their hat, their personality or something. But and again, like Berta said, believe. It's your mindset. As long as you believe, oh, I can do this, I sell shoes like this person sells shoes, I'm going to make it.
Well, that goes back to the resources. There's always enough to go around. There
Mhm.
is no shortage where you have to compete with the next sister or brother
Mhm.
or business or whatever. It's always enough to go around. And that's your abundance. That's your inheritance that has already been stored up for you. That so folks need to get out of that mindset. Well, I can't do it because the next person is doing it.
Right.
Everybody's different and everybody does things a different way.
Yes.
We have enjoyed being here with you all this morning.
Yeah.
Don't forget to tune in to the BYOB evening show, because there will be a whole new crew to bring you all information, guidance, startup, community. But you know what, y'all? We would be remiss if we left here today and do not say or sing Happy birthday to Jennifer King.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jen Jen Nunu. You
Birthday.
thought we were gonna forget you.
Happy
We weren't.
birthday, my Pisces sisters.
Happy birthday, Jennifer. Y'all want to sing to Jennifer?
Yes.
Because you know she watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all ready? How y'all gonna sing it?
Wait, do we own the rights to that song?
No, but we gonna put a disclaimer on it. We gonna put our own spin on it this morning. We don't own the rights. Oh, she in here. She said, "Thanks, ladies."
Thank
Sing
you,
to
ladies.
you,
We
Jennifer.
don't own the rights.
Yes. Happy
Happy
birthday.
We're having a birthday party down at the bank for Jennifer.
Right.
Yeah, because you know why? We gonna bring the cake.
Ooh.
We gonna bring the cake, but Jennifer has the bags.
You
That's
know what,
right.
Dr. Cynthia?
Don't
That is a
meet
really
us
nice
there.
idea.
Beat us there. We have birthday parties at the bank, baby.
That is a
Don't
really nice
beat us
idea.
there.
Seriously,
Beat
dress
us
up
there.
and go to the bank. Yes. I like that.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody. We look, we were talking about startup capital, getting your paperwork straight and all of that today. Don't forget to go to bit.ly/7-figure call, a 7-figure startup. Get your startup information. And I was telling you, we have classes and stuff. We're gonna have to bid you adieu because guess what? We have a class coming up right now. So bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Happy birthday,
Jen.
Jennifer. Uncle Troy, are you in the background to take us
Bye,
out?
guys.
Bye.
All right, let's leave. I can't take us out because
Wait a